All right, let's talk about using a digital tuner. There are two different types of digital tuners that we're concerned with today. One is a guitar tuner specifically designed for standard guitar tuning, which would be the strings E, B, G, D, A, and E. So a guitar tuner would read only those standard guitar tuning notes. A chromatic tuner, on the other hand, would read all of the notes of the musical alphabet, including the sharps and flats, 12 notes in all. Now, there is really no disadvantage to using a chromatic tuner, because a chromatic tuner will also be able to tune a standard guitar tuning, but at the same time, if you decide to do alternate tunings, it will read alternate tunings as well. Today we're using a chromatic tuner, a tuner that reads all of the notes, and because of that, it can be used to tune absolutely any instrument. All right, so the names of the strings are E, B, G, D, A, and E. We're going to start on string 1. I'm going to strike string 1, and you're going to see the needle move to the center position. Now that's telling me that this string is in tune. Now take a look at what happens if I tune that string and bring that string down. Now when I say I'm tuning it down, that means I'm loosening the string. Therefore, I'm turning the peg toward me. Watch what happens to the needle. You can see that the needle is moving down. And so now, if I'm in standard guitar tuning, I can say that my E string is flat because it's below the standard tuning. In other words, it's out of tune. It will be out of tune with a piano, and it will be out of tune with any other instruments that are in tune. So therefore, in order to bring this string from a flat position back up, I have to tighten it, and it will progressively get higher as I continuously strike the string. Until I should start reading in the middle. And now I'm back in tune. The same holds true for being sharp. If I went too far, as you can see, I'm getting sharp. The tuner is still reading an E, but if I were to continue, it would start to read an F. I won't do that right now. I'm sharp now. I'm above the note. I'm out of tune, and and to be more specific, my instrument is tuned. My E string is tuned sharp. Therefore, I have to bring that string, loosen that string by turning the machine head toward me until I get back to center position. There are lots of different types of tuner designs, but they all basically do the same thing. They read the number of frequencies per second with a little built-in microphone. And those frequencies per second are translated to a note name. If I were to strike the second string, everything that we just did on the E string will hold true as well. Is my second string in tune? It looks like we're pretty close to in tune. And the screen will be reading a B note because of the frequency that this string is vibrating at. If I were to slack off this string, I would go flat, as I am now. Now I'm out of tune. If I were to go the other way and tighten the string, I'm coming up to tune. If I were to go past, I'm sharp. I have to come back down. Until once again I'm in tune. In each case, The tuner will be reading reading the pitch or the note that I'm playing or the frequency that I'm playing, which has a name, and that frequency will show up on the screen. Virtually all tuners are going to be like that. So if I play each of my strings, each of the strings is going to read that frequency. E, B, G, D, A, and low E, which is a little flat. All right. Now, that reading of the pitch itself, that letter name is a very important part of your tuning. If you're tuning and the needle is going to the middle of the screen, but you're tuning the wrong note, it might look like you're in tune. But if you're for instance reading the wrong pitch for that string, you'll have a problem with your tuning as the end result. So always make sure that when you do strike a string, you know the name of the string. You're looking for the name of the string on the screen. The screen says it's an E, and the screen tells me, and then the needle tells me if I'm flat or if I'm sharp. And so I adjust the tension of the string until I end up with that needle in the middle position. Now today I'm starting with a guitar that's in tune, and this is where I suggest you start from. Get a guitar that's in tune. There's no reason that you should have to tweak a guitar very much. I mean, you should tweak guitars and tune them every time you take it out of your case, and every time that you sit down for a practice or playing session. You should be tuning your guitar. That's totally normal. But it shouldn't have gone way out of tune, drastically out of tune. So I'm making the assumption that you're starting with your guitar pretty much in tune. In other words, that needle is going to be somewhere, maybe a little bit in the flat position, maybe the needle is going to be somewhere a little bit in the sharp position. And those adjustments can be made simply by adjusting the tension of the string with your machine head or with your tuning key. If you are, for the first time, putting on an entirely new set of strings and you're going to tune your guitar, I would suggest saving that for a little bit later in terms of your overall tuning development. Also, once you're in tune, what's going to happen is you'll sound like you're in tune. So play a chord. That chord to me sounds like it's in tune. That chord actually to me sounds like I could make a slight adjustment. And now that sounds right to me. So what I just said there is, even a digital tuner will not give you an absolutely perfect tuning over every single chord. So you still should engage your ears with whatever you do. So after you've gone through the process of tuning digitally, play a few chords and listen to the chords you're playing. And don't be afraid to ever so slightly tweak one string or another string until you're hearing exactly what you want to hear with that chord. This may happen over a period of time, but it'll help you to understand how the guitar works in terms of how it's tuned and how it sounds the best. So today, that was just an introduction to using a digital tuner. I suggest all of you go out and get one. They're just irreplaceable, and in terms of beginning your playing with an instrument that is in tune. But don't disengage your ear. Always listen to the final result.